In my mind, one of the best Amazon Prime Day deals, it's the Pixel 6a, especially when you consider the price of its successor, even on Prime Day. We'll go over that deal as well. But right now, Pixel 6a, link will be in the description. It does help the channel, so I do encourage you to use it. $250. That's today, if you're seeing this video, the 11th, and the 12th, tomorrow. Now, even if you missed that deal, I do hope this is the beginning of maybe a more permanent price drop on the 6A. I would love to see it now permanently at $299 instead of $350, because I think at $299 it's really a fantastic deal. That's where they had it for a little while. They raised it back, but with $250 deals being thrown about, Chef Pusheen here to pass them along. Chef Pusheen's hungry for deals. That is something that I hope is the mark of seeing this device sub $300 now for the rest of the time it's available new. Let's talk about what you do get. Go ahead and reopen it for $250 brand new, and why I think it's still a really excellent deal in comparison to the Pixel 7a, even though that device now is $450. Came down for $500. $450. Not a fantastic deal. Still lots going on there, especially when you look at this. So let's talk about that. Display. 6.1 inch OLED display. Pretty good on color. The weakness is brightness. It doesn't get that bright. In sunlight, you're going to struggle to see it. However, okay, it's not like the 7a solved that. They didn't fix it with the 7a. Still the same problem. So why pay $200 more when you're still going to struggle with the same brightness? Performance. I really like the Tensor first generation. It took them a while to lock it in. It took them a while to optimize it, but they've done that. I see really good battery life on my 6A, pretty strong, well over 6 hours of screen on time, despite the battery size. So well over 6 hours of screen on time that I'm seeing there, as opposed to I struggle to get 5 with my Pixel 7a. So you can save yourself $200 and get more battery life. If you want to say the RAM is an issue, 8 gigabytes of RAM on the 7a versus 6 here. More intense gaming, you'll notice that. If you got these big open world games, if you're running a lot of Genshin Impact, you'll notice what it can cache. That's where you're going to see a difference there. But to me, the 6 in the 6A is just fine. I really don't see any issues. And the Tensor is still fine. You're going to be able to do everything that you want to do. Load up apps, smooth scroll, no issue. Instagram, no issues there. Going through the UI is snappy. So even though you're limited to 60 hertz on this display, it's supposed to the 90 on the 7A, if you turn animations off, which a lot of people do, you're going to be flying through things so quickly you're not even going to notice the difference. It's going to feel snappy to you, because it is. They took the time, they locked it in, and for day-to-day tasks, this is going to beat any other $250 phone out there. It really doesn't come close in terms of performance. That's why I like this one so much. The other advantage, the modem in the 6A, to me, is actually better than the modem you get in the 7A. I get better connectivity and stronger connectivity with this modem in the 6A than I do in the newer device. That might be my use case. That might be AT&T. Whatever happens to be, this one I keep and maintain connection in areas when I would not otherwise. Support, okay, you're giving up that extra year of support, but it's still going to be supported for a few more years. You're going to get a few more updates of Android. You're going to get all the Pixel drops because you're on Tensor. So unlike the 5A that's kind of missing out with the Snapdragon chip that they have in there on the Tensor-specific feature drops, you're not going to have that issue over here on your 6A because you have the first generation Tensor in there. Cameras, I know it's the older sensor, but you're still getting some beautiful photos out of this. You know, this was hailed a year ago as kind of being a shutterfly on a budget, and that still maintains. You're still going to get fantastic Google quality photos out of it. You want to say the build quality is different? I happen to like this build quality. I know it's not glass, but you save the weight. It's still got the metal band, so it still feels premium when you're holding it without a case. I think, I almost feel encouraged with the plastic build to rock it without a case, and I do so often, even though the cases that you get, the kind of whatever cases that you got, the Sage one with it, was quite nice, and I like them. I could go ahead, and this is an unoffensive design. You either love it or you hate it, I guess you should say. To me, I love it. Other people might find it ugly, but you're going to know that right off the bat. But I think most people are going to enjoy it. Love the two-tone here. Wish they came in the colors that this year's devices came in. Some coral or blue or something like that. You get the 70s sage here on this device. But no matter. Still looks good. And the plastic build doesn't bother me at all. So there's still a lot. Fingerprint is improved over the Pixel 6. They used a different one in this device here, so you're not going to have all of those struggles. Some people still complain about fingerprint stuff. I never really had an issue on my 6A, especially not like I had on my 6, where it would work 50% of the time. But a lot of the things that I complain, you give up wireless charge. Like I said, you give up the 90 hertz, you give up wireless charge, but it's 5-watt wireless charging. Charging is still slow on Pixel devices. It's not like they solved that either. So they didn't solve a lot of the main headaches I think you'd see coming from this device, and you still get fantastic performance, a decent enough build, great cameras, some future proofing with the Tensor chip in here. So you still get enough of the essence of the 7A, and you're saving $200 in the process. And then you just look outward at every other budget phone out there. And when you consider sub $300, the Pixel 6a at $250 absolutely destroys the competition. You know, I have been no friend to Google recently. I think their new pricing structure and whatever they're doing with the 7a and whatever they're doing with the 8 and the 8 Pro when it comes out, I think they are all over the board. But the 6a was a sweet spot that they hit based on features, based on performance, and then based on price, that I really hope that they find that magic again sometime in the future. Because the 6A is just really one of my favorite devices ever when you factor in the price. I still love it. I still think you should pick one up. If you're looking for something that, you know what, you just want a phone that's going to do a lot of the extras that flagships do for a quarter of the price, sometimes less, a fraction of the price, then at $250 you could do a lot worse than this device here. So take that into consideration. If you could get one for $250, if it reverts after a couple days and goes back up to $300 to $299, I still think it's a quality deal, especially in comparison to what Google's offering now, even new. So it's not like you're falling behind. It's not like you're on something old. Tensor still feels snappy. They've got it locked in and optimized a heck of a lot better than they have the second generation Tensor in, and that's why you're able to get the better battery life on a device like this with similar battery capacities. It's not that small of a battery. I forget what the exact number is, but you're getting, I think they increased the capacity on the 7A, but I get better battery life on my 6A. So if you have a 6A, you're winning. If you don't have one, pick one up for $250. You're going to be more impressed than you think by the feel. The metal band makes a difference. You're going to feel that in the hand. It's nice and solid. It's compact, 6.1-inch display. It's an OLED, so you're getting all the benefits there, always on display. Even though you can't customize it with, you're gonna have. Listen, if you're watching this video, you've made your peace with the Pixel experience by now, so you know that that's a limitation. But as long as you're okay with those limitations, you're getting a heck of a lot of phone here for $250, and one that's going to serve you well for 2, 3, 4 years to come, and still have the latest and greatest Google Pixel features on top of it. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.